Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. My name is Albertina Shilongo, and I'm your tutor for this course, Information Technology for Policing Students. Well, the purpose of this presentation is simply just to prepare the students for the upcoming assignment. Well, this is just this is simply just a presentation. Yeah, detailed information about this presentation you can find it from the internet. You can also find it from your study guide. So in this presentation, we are going to talk about the information processing cycle. We are going to talk about the main components of the computer, the features of the computer. Here we are mainly going to focus on the desktop. We're also going to talk about emails. We're going to differentiate between the network and the internet. We're also going to talk about the different Microsoft application. Today we're just going to talk about the basic features or some features in Microsoft Excel, and also some features in Microsoft PowerPoint, which is a software that is mainly used for presentation. So when we talk about the information processing cycle, we're actually talking about the sequence of events that take place when data is actually transferred into information, or when data is processed into information in our computer. Now, this cycle consists of different events. The first event is the input event. Yeah. Now, this is a process where data is actually inserted in our computer using different input devices. We are going to talk about these devices in the upcoming slides. Now, once this data is inserted in our computer, it's processed. Yeah, or it's processed, or it's transformed in another format called information. Now, the process of transforming data to information is the one that is called processing, obviously using a processor. And then we've got storage. Now, storage can be divided into two. We've got the primary storage and we've got the secondary storage. Now, the primary storage, this is your memory. The memory is the storage that holds your data while it's in processing. Yeah. Now, once this data is processed, it sends to permanent storage devices like say for instance your hard drive. Now, these are called the secondary storage devices. Another sequence or another event is the input event. Now, the output event. The output event. This is the display of your information. Yeah, this is actually the final stage where whatever was processed is now sent to these devices. Well, like I explained, the input, this is you as a user inputting or entering data inside your computer for processing. Now, the devices that are used for inserting data inside our computer, we've got a keyboard, we've got a mouse, we've got, say for instance, your scanner can also be regarded as an input device. We have got, say for instance, your microphone, it's inputting your voice inside your computer for processing. So any device that is used to input data inside the computer for processing, we refer to this as input devices. Yeah, like I said, we've got two types of memory, we've got two types of storage. We've got the primary storage and the secondary storage. Memory, which is also sometimes referred to as a RAM, this is actually the place where your data is held upon processing, or while it's in processing, it's actually held under memory. And then storage device, which is referred to as your secondary storage, these are permanent storage devices where your information now is saved. Say for instance, your memory stick, your hard disk drive, your CD, and so on and so on. Processing, like I said, here we're talking about the processor, the actual chip in our computer that does the actual calculation to transform data into information. Output devices, these are actually devices where processed information is sent to. Yeah, maybe for display or for playing or whatever. Now, this can be your monitor. Yeah, this can be your printer. So, for instance, you want to print a document, so it's sent to the printer for you to receive a hard copy of what was processed. Yeah, it can also be your speaker. Say, for instance, you are playing music. Those are output devices. Okay, and just a few more examples. The input devices, we've got keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanners, your camera, your cell phone also can be an input device. Yeah, CDs and so on and so on. Processing devices, this is a processor. This is a chip inside our computer that does the actual calculation, that does the actual interpretation, and this is the one that changes data into information. And then the storage, we have got the primary, like I said, and the secondary. The primary be your RAM, and then the secondary be your hard drive, your memory stick, a CD, or whatever you can store your data on can be referred to as the primary storage device. Output devices, I spoke of the monitor, projector, can also be referred as an output device. Obviously, we've got printer, we've got scanners, and so on and so on. Okay, and this is also just another illustration to say that you enter data inside your computer using input devices. Now for the data to be processed, obviously it must be held in the memory, and then the processor would actually contact the memory to find out what needs to be processed. Once it's processed from the memory, this information now is sent to storage devices, or it can also be output to output devices. Say for instance for printer, music, speakers, and so on and so on. Now the main components of the computer comes into two, or there are two main components of the computer. One of the main components of the computer is called the hardware. When you talk about the hardware components of the computer, we're actually talking about the tangible devices of the computer. Anything that you can touch on the computer is actually called hardware. Yeah, and then software, we're actually talking about something that is intangible, but maybe something that we can see. These are actually set of instructions, yeah, that instructs a computer on what to do. Yeah, or these are the set of instructions that actually perform specific tasks in our computer. Yeah, now this type of software comes in two types. We've got something called application software, and we've got something called the operating system. When we talk of the application software, we're actually talking about softwares that are installed in our computer to perform a specific task. Yeah, I was talking of playing music. Music, you play with a specific software. Now that software that you install inside your computer just to play music, but it's not key to the performance of the computer, is called an application software. And then we've got the operating system. The operating system, this is the first software that you install in your computer. So basically this software plays or acts as an interface between the user and the hardware of the computer, or the user and the application softwares of the computer. To say that if you wanna play music, yeah, your application software, say for instance your VLC alone will not play unless you have got an operating system, yeah, that is actually helping your application software to play. So basically you have the operating system in between for you as a user to get hold or to access your application software. Now for your computer to work, obviously you need to have the hardware components and the software components of the computer. It's not going to work with only one. Okay. In this slide we are going to talk about the basic features of the computer, but mainly we're going to focus on the desktop. Now the desktop is the first screen that comes up upon switching on your computer. So basically the first screen that comes up upon switching your computer is actually called the desktop. Now on the desktop we find different features. Now one of the features that we find on the desktop is something called icons. Yeah, icons, these are actually small graphics or graphical representation of softwares that you find on your screen. Now this small graphical represents softwares. Yeah, now say for instance if you want to access a specific if you frequently access a specific software, instead of you going to start programs and all programs and access that software, you can simply just create an icon on the desktop that represents that software. So instead of you going that long route to access the software, you simply just double click on the icon. So icons on the desktop, they actually represent specific software that are installed in our computer. Okay, and then another feature is a feature called a cursor. A cursor essentially an indicator used to show the current position where a user can enter data. So a case is essentially the little pointer that is moving on your desktop when you move your mouse. So basically, this is an input kind of device, yeah, that actually points to a specific place where a user can enter their data. This slide, we're going to talk about the internet and the network. Well, like I said, the purpose of this presentation is essentially to prepare you to do your assignment very well. So that's why we are not we are like touching here and there. Yeah, because these are actually topics that are in our assignment, but that does not mean that you should not master a topic. Yeah, so you need to read more to understand more. When we talk of a network, we're actually talking about computers, yeah, or devices that are connected together to share resources. Yeah, when we talk of a network, we're actually talking about devices or computing devices that are connected together to share devices. Say, for instance, if you have got two computers connected together, there is a small network that you have just created, isn't it? Yes. Or if you have a department with maybe 5 computers connected together to one printer, there is a network. So all these devices, they are actually sharing a printer. So in that case, they are sharing a resource. Yeah. So it saves you cost. Instead of each computer having a printer, yeah, you can set up a network so that all these computers connect to one printer and they all print to a specific printer. Now, when we talk of the internet, we're actually talking about the global connection of these different networks. So a network, or the internet, is a connection of global networks connected together, obviously to share information. Yeah, and this is just a simple illustration of the network. Yeah, the network here. Yeah, and then this is a simple illustration of the internet. So this is a global connection, and this could just be a number of computers in the office or institution or organization that are connected together with the purpose of sharing resources. Now, there are terms, or there are different features that comes with the internet. Now, one of the feature that comes with the internet is a feature called search engine. Yeah. Now on the internet, what we do usually, we search for information, isn't it? Now there's a term called search engine that is used with the network or with the internet. Yeah. When we talk of search engines, we're actually talking about specific programs, yeah, that allows users to search for information on the internet. Yeah. Search engines, these are programs. Yeah, I would actually say that these are application softwares, yeah, because they perform a specific task that are created with the main purpose of searching for information on the internet. And the one that we are familiar with is the one called Google. Google is a search engine because if you want to find information about something, you go to Google. So Google is a search engine because it allows you to search for information on the internet. So Google is a commonly used one. We have got Bing, we have got Yahoo, we have got a lot of others also. These are not the only ones. There's 100 of other search engines, but these are the common ones. Another term that is used with the internet is a term called web browser. Yeah. Now, when we talk of web browser, we're actually talking about programs or softwares that were created, yeah, with the purpose of allowing a user to access the internet. Yeah, a browser is a software that was created with the purpose of allowing users to access the internet. Yeah, so if you want to access the internet, you must have a software that allows you to access the internet, and this software is called a browser. Yeah, now once you are on the internet and you want to search for information, yeah, this is now where the search engine comes in. You must type in a search engine on the browser that allows you to search for information on the internet. Yeah, now the different browsers that we are familiar with is Mozilla, Firefox, we have got Internet Explorer, we have got Google Chrome, we also have a lot of others, but these are the commonly used search engines, or not search engines, but browsers. Okay. Emails, or electronic emails in long. When we talk of an electronic email, we're actually talking about information from our computer that we send to other people. They receive it via computer with the purpose of sharing information. Yeah, these are actually information stored on our computer or any computing device, maybe your cell phone, your iPad, or whatever. That is actually exchanged between two or more users, yeah, over the network. Yeah. Now, email messages may actually contain of different types of files. They may contain of audios, they may contain of videos, they may contain of your normal files, maybe a Word file or a PowerPoint file. It could be a lot of files in one folder. In that folder, for it to go via the network, should be compressed, should be made smaller. It could also contain of pictures. So almost everything can actually be sent via emails. Now, the specific files, yeah, or these files that are sent with a message, yeah, using emails, this is actually what is called attachments. Yeah. Now, there are two different types of email clients. Yeah. When we talk of email clients, we're actually talking about softwares that allows you to send emails. Yeah. So basically, with anything that you do on the computer, you must have a software that allows you to do it. So for you to access the internet, you must have a software that allows you to do it. For you to send an email, you must have a software that allows you to do it. Now, the two types of software that allows you to do that, to send emails, the type of software that allows you to send emails, they're actually called email clients. And they come in two types. One of the two types of email clients is the one that is called the webmail or web-based email. Yeah. Now, these are actually emails that are operated from a website. Yeah. Now, different browsers, if I may put it like that, comes with their own web-based account. Say, for instance, Google. Yeah. Not browsers. I actually mean to say different search engines. Yeah, say for instance Google. We are very much familiar with the Gmail. Gmail is Google based. Yeah, and then we have got Yahoo Mail. Yahoo comes with Yahoo search engine. So web-based mails, these are actually mails that are operated from the website or from the search engine website. Now, for instance, Gmail or Yahoo Mail. Now, with this type of emails, you are always required to be connected to the internet. Yeah. Now, the other type is the one called the email client. Now, with the email client, these are the ones that are set up, say for instance, in an organization, and they actually use an architecture called the client-server architecture. Now, with this type of emails, you don't necessarily have to be connected to the internet, but you should be connected to a network. Now, say for instance, Outlook. In your company, you use Outlook. Yeah, with Outlook, you don't necessarily have to be connected to the network for you to access the you don't necessarily have to be connected to the internet. Yeah, for you to access your Outlook emails, but you need to be connected to the network. Yeah. Now, what are the advantages of webmail type of emails, or what are the advantages of web-based emails? First of all, it's centralized maintenance. To say that you as a user, you are not the one that maintain the servers where your emails come through. Yeah, they're actually maintained by the search engine itself or by the company that hosts them. Yeah, backups, upgrades, and security fixes are done automatically. You don't necessarily to install them. It's done automatically. Yeah, and then many web-based providers offer spam and virus protection. So with this type of emails, you are kind of safe because the providers of this type of emails, they already have their own antivirus software that actually prevent viruses from entering the servers that host these emails. Yeah, we spoke of attachments, where I say that an attachment is any file that you send together with your email. It can be a video, it can be an audio, it can be a picture, anything that you can attach to your email is actually called an attachment. So how do you send an email with an attachment together? Well, that will mainly depend on the type of email client that you are using. But for most email client, these are the steps that you need to follow. Yeah, you open your email program first of all, definitely, because this is the one that allows you to send an email. You must have it opened. There's always a button either called new or called compose. Yeah, you click on that button. Yeah, and then once you do that, an interface will appear. Now in that interface, you'll be required to enter the email address of the person, of the person that needs to receive the email. Yeah, you also need to type. It's always recommended, or it's a requirement that every email should have a message. Yeah, what is your email all about? Yeah, so you enter the email address of the person. Yeah, you must also enter the header or the heading of the email. Yeah, and then this can be done interchangeably. Yeah, you can type the email first. Yeah, what the email is, you can type the content of the email first and then click on attachment, or you can attach the file first before you type the message. So whichever you prefer doing first, it does not matter. Yeah, so in the subject field, you type the topic of your email. Yeah, what is your email all about? Yeah, click on attachment icon. Yeah, you browse to the location where the file is, the file that you want to attach. You browse to the location where it is. Yeah, you click on the file, or you double click on the file. Then by that, you have actually attached it to your email. So once you do that, the attachment icon appears in the message. Yeah, in the message field, type a brief message. So if you are sending an attachment, it's always required that you also just type in something. Yeah, in your email content. Yeah, and then you click on send. Okay, so these are actually the steps that are involved when a user is sending an email with an attachment to a recipient. Okay, we spoke of viruses when we were talking about web-based emails, but what are viruses? Yeah, a virus is also just an application software because it was created to perform a specific task. Yeah, so a computer virus is a malicious program that is loaded on the user's computer without the knowledge of the computer. Yeah, and the purpose of this type of softwares is actually to cause havoc to the operation of the computer. Yeah, so these are software that don't really have good intentions. Yeah, they were created to actually enter the user's computer without even the user's knowledge. Yeah, and the purpose of this email is to disrupt the normal operation of the computer. Just like any other application software, viruses are also man-made. They were programmed by a normal person. Yeah, these are called computer virus. Yeah, now there's also another application software that is called the antivirus. Yeah, when you talk of the antivirus, we're actually talking about computer programs that were created to prevent and detect these malicious programs that enter our computer without our knowledge. Yeah, now these antivirus programs, they come mainly in two types. Yeah, we've got something called the real-time protection. So these are softwares, yeah, that are installed in our computer to monitor and detect anything that looks malicious before it enters our computer via the network, obviously. Yeah, so with these ones, before it actually scans everything that is entering our computer via the network. If it detects that something is malicious, then it blocks it. Yeah, then we've got something called the runs. Yeah, with this type of software, once now everything is in your has entered your computer via your network, this type of software now scan your computer, scan already what is in the computer, and then detect malicious software. Yeah, so this one protects, or this one scans anything that is entering in our computer. Yeah, this one, it lets everything enters and then scans later. Yeah, so if you look or if you analyze between the two types of software, you should be able to pick up which one is more efficient than the other. Yeah, they say prevention is much better than curing. Okay. Another type of application software that we use mainly is one called the Excel. Yeah, Microsoft Excel is actually part of Micro Office suite. Yeah, now this type of application software is mainly used for calculation. Now there's a feature that comes with this type of application software, and that feature is actually called functions. Now functions are formulas, yeah, or functions are predefined formulas that come with Excel operating system that performs calculation using specific value in an ordered manner. Yeah, so functions are predefined formula, yeah, in Microsoft Excel that perform calculation using specific value in a particular order. Now there are different types of functions. Yeah, we've got the sum function. Yeah, with the sum function, this is when you are adding this is actually when you're summing up or when you are adding numbers together, maybe from a collection or from a range of cells. Yeah, we've got average. Average, you add numbers together and then you divide them with the count or with the number of those numbers that you have entered. Count, this is when you want to count the number of cells, a range of cells. You want to find out how many they are. You use the count function. Maximum, yeah, you want to find out among a range of cells, yeah, which among numbers that appear in a range of cells, which one is the highest value. And then with the minimum feature or with the minimum function, you want to find out among numbers that are found in a range of cells, which one is which cell or which number is the minimum value. Now this is a format of a function. Yeah, when you do functions, you must always start with the equal sign. So it can be equal average or equal count. Yeah, so you say equal sign, must always start with the equal sign, and then the function name. The function can be sum, average, count, maximum, and then you specify the cells, the range of cells, to say that find the sum, yeah, that is found, or find the sum of numbers that is found from cell A1 to cell A20. So this is actually what this function means. Yeah, it could also be minimum. You say equal sign, minimum, to say that find the minimum value, yeah, between cell A1 and cell A20. Yeah, so for every function, this is the format that you need to follow. Yeah, and you definitely encounter something like this in your assignment, so you just need to master how it's done. Okay. Okay, well, like I said, I explained this. So sum, this is if you're adding values that are found in a number of cells. Average, determine the average of values included in an argument or number of cells. Yeah, and then count. This is when you want to count, you are not counting the value in the cells, but rather you are counting the number of cells. Yeah, maximum determines the highest value in a range of cells, and then minimum determines the minimum value among or in a range of cells. Now, Microsoft PowerPoint is also another topic that you'll encounter in your assignment. This is a software that is mainly used for presentation. Like the software that I'm using currently now is PowerPoint because it allows me to present. Now, a specific page, like say for instance this screen, now that is my page. A page in PowerPoint is referred to as a slide. Yeah. Now, PowerPoint comes with different views. When we talk of views in PowerPoint, we're actually just talking about how your slides are arranged, or how the outline of your slides on your page. We've got something called the slide view. The slide view is the one that I'm currently using, where once I press enter, a page appears. Yeah. So the slide view, this is when you view each slide at a time. Yeah. We've got the normal view. Say for instance, when you're typing your presentation, that view is actually called the presentation value because it allows you to edit. The slide sorter, this is now where you have all your slides appearing on the screen. Now, so here you can actually move your slides around. Yeah, and then we've got the notes view. You've got a slide, and then at the page of the slide, or underneath the slide, you're actually provided with the space to write notes of what you are going to present or what is presented in your slide. Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of our presentation. There is my email address, albertinashilongo@gmail.com, and there is my contact number, so you can contact me the appropriate time.